Hello, welcome back. I'm Jay Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAM Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the question series of Database Management System 1, and today I'm here with the question set number 28. In this question set 2, we're going to discuss the same question scenario that we had in the question set number 16, and as the first question, what is the highest mark obtained in Sinhala literature in all term examinations of all the students of class 11B? And then the second question, what is the highest mark and subject of Sachitra Vikramasinghe's first term subjects in all subjects? And the third question, find the name and mark of the students who scored between 70 and 90 marks in the mathematics subject in the first term examination. And as the next question, find the subject and mark with the highest marks obtained in mathematics and science subjects in by Amanda Moses in first term examination. And as the fifth question, Madara Vanasekar find the highest marks in mathematics and science and Sinhala language and literature in the second term examination. So then let's move to HDSQL software. So in the first question, you have to find the highest mark in obtaining the Sinhala language literature subject and in by the class 11B students. So then let's start the select query. Here we can use the max keyword as we have to find the max highest mark. Inside the previous mark we can give the column name as mark here, and then we can use the from keyword and then student exam mark record table, and then we can use the inner join as we have to join the subject table and the class table. So then at first let's join the subject table. Subject on the student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to subject table dot the subject id, and then we can use the inner join here, and let's join the student table at first as the class table is joined in the student table. So then we can use the on keyword here, the student exam mark record table dot student index number equals to student table dot index number, and then we can use the inner join here, and then let's join the class table. Then we can use the on keyword and student table dot the class id equals to class table dot the class id, and then we can use the where clause here, and then we can give the class name equals to inside the quotation marks 11b, and then we can use the and keyword, and inside the grievance mark we can give the subject name equals to inside the quotation marks in her language and literature, and then at last semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we have obtained the maximum mark as 99. So then let's move to the next question. They're asking what is the highest mark and subject of Sachitra Vikramasinghe's first term subjects in all subjects. So then in this question you have to find the highest mark and the subject relevant to that of Sachitra Vikramasinghe first term subjects. In this question you have to obtain two results, as one as highest mark and the subject. So then here we have to use a subquery also. So then let's start select query as select. We can give the mark and we need to find the subject. We can use the from keyword here from the student exam mark record table, and then we can use the inner join, and let's join the subject table, and then we can use the on keyword here again, and student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to subject table dot the subject id, and then we can use the where clause, and we can give the mark column inside the grievance mark, and we can use the in keyword here as we're gonna use a subquery. So then inside the brackets let's start the subquery as select. Here we can use the max keyword as we have to obtain the highest mark. So then inside the grievance mark we can give the column name as mark, and the from keyword the student exam mark record table, and here too we can use the inner join, and let's join the exam term table at first, and then exam term table on the student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot the term id, and then we can use the and then we can use inner join again, and here we can use inner join again, and let's join the student table as we have to specify the relevant student. from her name. So then student on student exam mark record table dot student index number equals to student table dot the index number. And then at last we can use the where clause, and inside the quotation mark we can give the first name equals inside the quotation marks Sachitra, and we can use the and keyword here, and then inside the quotation mark we can give the last name equals to inside the quotation mark the relevant last name, and then again we can use the and keyword here, and inside the quotation mark we can give the term name equals to inside the quotation marks first term, and then at last we can give the semicolon. Let's execute this query. Here we have obtained the result of this query as mark and 85.5 and subject name as single language and integer. So then let's move to the third question, where it has to find the name and mark of the students who scored between 70 and 80 marks in the mathematics subject in the first term examination. So here we have to find the name and mark of the students who scored between 70 and 90 in the mathematics subject in the first term examination. So then let's tab select query again. Select inside the question mark we can give the first name comma the last name, and again comma we need the mark also, and we can use the from keyword here. We can get this information from student exam mark record table, and we have to inner join the student table as we have to obtain the name of the student, and we can use the on keyword here, and student exam mark record table dot student index number equals to student table dot the index number, and then we can use the inner join here again, and let's join the exam term table. We can use the on keyword and student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot the term id, and then we can inner join the subject table. We can use the on keyword and student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to subject table dot the subject id, and then at last we can use the where clause here, and then inside the quotation mark we can give the term name equals to inside the quotation mark the first term, and then we can use the and keyword here, and then we can give the subject name equals to inside the quotation marks mathematics, and then here we can use the and keyword here, and inside the quotation mark we can check the mark is between. We can use the between keyword as we have to find the mark between 70 and 90. So then between 70 and 90. So then at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we have obtained the name and the mark of the students who scored between 70 and 90 marks in the mathematics subject for the first term. So then let's move to the fourth question, where it has to find the subject and mark with the highest marks obtained in the mathematics science subjects by Amanda Moses in the first term examination. So here too we have to obtain two results, as one is the highest mark and other is the subject and the relevant mark. So then let's type the select query select. So then we can give the relevant column as subject name and comma inside the quotation mark. Again we can give the column name as mark, and then we can use the from keyword from the student exam mark record table, and we can use the inner join here, and we can join the subject table, and then we can use the on keyword the student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to subject table dot the subject id, and then we can use the where clause here, and inside the quotation mark we check by the mark, and we use the in keyword here as we're gonna use a subquery. Inside these brackets type the subquery as select. Here we have to find the max mark or the highest mark, so then we use the max keyword here. Inside the quotation mark we can give the column name as mark, and then we can use the from keyword here, and then we can give the table name as student exam mark record table, and then we give the inner join, and we join the student table, as we have to specify the relevant student by her name. So then we can use the on keyword here, and the student exam mark record table dot student index number equals to the student table dot the index number. And then again we can use the inner join here, and let's join the subject table, and we can use the on keyword here, student exam mark record table dot the subject id equals to the subject table dot the subject id. And then we can again use the inner join and join the exam term table on the student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot that term id. And then at last we can use the where clause, and we can give the first name of this student equals to inside the quotation marks the relevant first name. And here we can use the and keyword here, and then we can give the last name equals to inside the quotation mark the last name of the student. Again the and keyword, and inside the curly bracket mark we can give the term name equals to inside the quotation marks the first term, and we use the and keyword here again, and inside the curly bracket mark we have to check two subjects. So we have to select highest mark from the two subjects. So then we give the subject name. Here we use the in keyword here, likewise you are using in a subquery, and inside the quotation mark we give the subject name as mathematics subject and comma the science subject. So then at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we have obtained the highest mark as 90 and the relevant subject as mathematics. So then let's move to the last question, where it tells the Madara and Sekira find the highest marks in the mathematics and science and Sinhala language and literature subjects in the second term examination. So here we have to find the highest mark in these subjects in the second term examination of this student. So then let's type the relevant query. Select, we can use the max keyword here, as we have to find the highest mark. Inside the grievance in mark we can give the column name as mark, and we use the from keyword the student exam mark record table. And then we use the inner join here, and we use the student table at first, and then we use the on keyword here, student exam mark record table dot student index number equals to student table dot the index number. And then again we use the inner join here, and we join the subject table at next, and then we can use the on keyword here, student exam mark record table dot subject id equals to the subject table dot subject id. And then again we can use the inner join, and let's join the exam term table on the student exam mark record table dot exam term id equals to exam term table dot the term id. And then at last we can use the where clause, and inside the grievance in mark we can check the first name equals to inside the quotation marks and keyword here, and then the last name equals to inside the quotation marks the last name of the student and keyword here, and then the grievance in the inside the grievance end mark we can give the term name equals to inside the quotation mark second term. We can use the and keyword here again, and inside the grievance end mark we can check the subject name, and we can use the in keyword here, as we have to obtain the highest mark from these three subjects, mathematics, science and Sinhala language and literature. So then inside the quotation marks we can give the subject names mathematics, and then after the comma again quotation marks science, comma quotation marks Sinhala language and literature, and then at last the semicolon. So then let's execute this query. Here we have obtained the highest mark that's scored by the Madara Sekar for the subject math, science, Sinhala language and literature in the second term as 85. So then we have done all the questions in question set number 28, and let's meet to the next question set number 29, and bye for now.